All right, you guys, I'm back again. I want to do a quick recap of some of the conversations I had at RootsTech and some of the deals that are still going on. Welcome back. It's good to see you.
You too.
All right, tell me what's going on with Ancestry. What's new?
Oh, so many things. So we do have some brand new DNA tools that are coming out with our Pro Tools package.
Okay.
We are just announcing it here at RootsTech, which is called Matches of Matches or Advanced Match Tools. So basically, you've always been able to see how much DNA you share with a match, and you've always been able to see who your shared matches are with that match. But now we're going to tell you how much DNA the two of them share with each other so that you can start to figure out those relationships.
What took so long? That is incredible. Any other big announcements this week?
Yeah, so we're continuing to make really amazing advancements. We'll stick with DNA for a minute on the DNA side. We've got hundreds of new communities that have launched over the last few months, and we have hundreds more coming. So just the size of the DNA database, 25 million now, we're able to get so granular. I mean, literally, we're talking some of these communities are 10 miles in a radius. So if you don't know where an ancestor is from, or you have a brick wall, this is going to get you, if not to a specific county, at least within 1 or 2 counties. So you can start looking for more targeted connections, more targeted records. And we're also announcing here that we're going to introduce a communities filter on your match list. So you're going to be able to say, if I have this little community in Cork, Ireland, who else in my match list has that same community? And it's going to allow us to connect with them a little bit better, start to make more discoveries. So that's the DNA side of the house.
One of the viewers on the channel was asking, they said, I don't quite understand this community thing. Can you explain that?
Easily, yeah. So your ethnicity estimate, which is the percentages that you get, that's showing you based on a modeled population where your DNA was 500 to 1,000 years ago, which for most of us is interesting, but isn't really genealogically informative because most of our trees don't go back that far. What genetic communities are is because 25 million people have taken the Ancestry DNA test, we start to see these genetic networks forming in the data, and our science teams and our population geneticists then go in and try to figure out why are all these people forming a community? And they're able to then label that community with a location. And so that's showing you where you have family members who have lived within the last 200 years.
So you have some other big announcements.
Yeah, so we did launch Pro Tools a while ago, and so we do have some new features in Pro Tools that are coming out in addition to the advanced DNA matching features. We also have some additional reports, some additional filters. So we're getting lots of feedback on that, and we're just trying to innovate and implement that as quickly as possible. So that's kind of in the tools and features bucket. We also have some new content announcements. So we have been able to re-index all of the records on newspapers.com and create a stories and events index that contains 16.8 billion names in it. When you start to think about the fact that Ancestry added 40 billion records from 1996 all the way through 2023, and the fact that just in the last 14 months, we've added an additional 16 billion just from this one collection is kind of mind-blowing. But when you think about the kinds of things that are reported in newspapers, marriages, births, deaths, but also who just came home from war and who won a Boy Scout award and who went to her friend's party because she was the maid of honor in her wedding. And you start to get this real feel for who your ancestors were and the kind of lives that they were living. And then we just have announced kind of softly a new subscription model on Ancestry. So in the past, our subscriptions have always been record-based. So you can have a US subscription, or you can have a world subscription, or you can have access to all the records on Ancestry plus newspapers and Fold 3. Always very records-based. We're kind of shifting that a little bit, and we're moving into this new concept around just individual plans and family plans. And an individual plan on Ancestry is going to give you access to all the records on Ancestry. So it's not going to be broken out by country anymore. And then a family plan is going to give you access to all the records on Ancestry, and you can share your subscription with up to 4 other people. So everybody still has their own login, they can still have their own tree, but only one person is paying the subscription. So if you think about a lot of other streaming services and things have a similar model, that's kind of the direction we're moving.
Is this kind of an all-access pass, this individual membership?
So the individual will give you access to all the records on Ancestry.
Separate from the DNA stuff?
The DNA tools are included. The basic DNA features are included in any subscription. The advanced DNA tools are only going to be part of the Pro Tools, which is just a little add-on to any subscription. Yeah. Let's talk about DNA Plus for just a minute. So DNA Plus for anybody who took a DNA test and never has subscribed to Ancestry, doesn't have a record subscription, we have this low price DNA Plus subscription that gives them full access to all the DNA tools. All that DNA Plus subscription is included in any other Ancestry subscription. So you don't need an extra subscription on top of it.
Okay.
We're going to put out some charts and things.
It does get kind of
especially because we're shifting from one subscription model to another. There might be a little bit of confusion.
Now, will existing members have to transfer over to the individual?
They don't have to, but they will be given an option to if they want to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What other big news can you share?
Well, so our hero here at RootsTech is family groups. So family groups is a new feature on Ancestry. And again, you don't have to have a subscription to create a family group. You can have your tree on there for free. You can use the messaging center for free. And now family groups is another free feature on Ancestry, which allows you to start to collaborate and coordinate with family members.
Right.
The example I give in my own family, right? My dad is super into DNA. He loves figuring out who our matches are. My mom is really into scanning photos and getting them attached to the right people. And then I'm the researcher. And so we all kind of have a job to do, but we're all going to work off the same tree. And so we've created this family group that allows us to kind of coordinate our efforts and know who's doing what and what still needs to be done and what needs to be researched and what we need to So it's just a really beautiful way for families to work together. And I know that not everybody is as lucky as I am to have parents involved, but start thinking about, oh, I could share this with my sister or my nephew, or there's almost always one or two other people in the family who have some degree of interest. And this is a way to start to expand that collaboration opportunities.
We forgot.
What did we forget?
We forgot to talk about the bear story.
My broken wrist.
Crista got eaten by a bear.
I mean, it kind of looks like it, right?
She won't let me tell this lie. My whole story is she got eaten by a bear while trying to save her nephew.
Right.
But,
Nope, really, I just slipped and fell and was clumsy and broke my wrist. With terrible timing, I might add.
Darn it, you're not going to let me tell that.
No bear story.
All right, well, good to see you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We're live here from RootsTech with Daniel Horowitz from MyHeritage, and he's got some exciting new stuff going on over at MyHeritage that he's going to tell us about, because we decided to go ahead and do this live because it is that urgent of news. So
definitely
tell us about it.
That is what we do, Connie, and thank you very much for having me here. And yes, as you say, we are live in RootsTech, and we just finished spelling the beans.
Yeah.
Gilad, our own CEO, just had this lecture, and let's start with today. This morning, we started on the keynote, and we had Aaron Gottfried announcing old news. Now,
okay, he's talking about old news newspapers.
That's right. Old news is probably not good news, right? But for us, genealogists is the best. This is what we want.
Yeah.
So what MyHeritage did is we created a separate website only to deal with newspapers. At the moment, we have 20 million pages over there, not only from the United States, but also from the Netherlands, from Germany, from other countries, the UK, Canada, and more coming up. I already heard France is one of the next ones in the list. So you can go right now, it's open right for you, oldnews.com, and you will be able to register for a 7-day free trial separate from your MyHeritage account. So you don't need to be a MyHeritage user. You can just be an old newspaper user and pay a very reduced price because you don't need the other. Now, I know that all the people who are a MyHeritage user is saying, okay, but what with us? Well, with you, we came up with a new level of membership. Up till just a few hours ago, the best plan that you could get was complete. And that gave you everything. And you know, people are
just
mad
to be
at
clear,
me.
we're talking about MyHeritage.
MyHeritage,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Today we're announcing Omni. And Omni is really everything. And when we say everything, it means everything. So it's everything on MyHeritage, it's everything in all news, but it's even more than that. It's a premium subscription in Genie.
Oh,
It's a subscription to Legacy Family Tree webinars.
nice.
It is really everything that you need.
See, they're saying great information.
We're all putting all that information on the website, but we're very excited to be able to bring you millions of pages of newspapers from all over the world. So yes, we do have exclusive newspapers going from Europe and from the United States.
Nice.
And Gilad promised another 100 million pages by the end of the year. And you know what happened when Gilad promised, right?
Well, make sure that you tell everybody who Gilad
We
is.
just need to work harder. Gilad is the CEO of MyHeritage.
Yes.
He's the head of the company. He also announced a partnership that MyHeritage is doing with Family Tree DNA. So if you have your DNA in your tree in Family Tree DNA, okay, you will be able to use MyHeritage and the other way around. More with the new stuff on the DNA, what we are offering all of you here in RootsTech, but not only here, also for you there at home, until Sunday, if you have done a DNA test,
This is a deal.
with
Listen up.
any other companies, okay, that's good. I'm here to save you money. You don't need to buy a MyHeritage DNA kit. Just take whatever data your other company gave you and upload to MyHeritage. If you upload your DNA this weekend, you will have all the features free forever. So this is the time. If you have not uploaded to MyHeritage, go to the website or whatever you have your other DNA, download the data, upload it to MyHeritage. And I know that a lot of people are going to ask, why? Because the pool of people that MyHeritage has is different. It may not be bigger, but it's more European.
It says wow.
Oh yeah,
It is a wow.
Definitely a wow.
Yeah.
Because it's more European, it's more the rest of the world, and it's free. So why not doing it? If you upload new DNA kits this weekend,
Wonderful.
free
Wow. What?
forever. Yes. Now I do have one thing to ask you, please, 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 please. When you're bringing a DNA to MyHeritage, please bring also a copy of your family tree. And you can also upload JetComs for free without any problem. Let me give you a secret.
That's truly amazing. I'll be setting it up.
Oh yes. Now, let's say you have a free account, because we all like free, right? So you have a free account, you upload your DNA, you have everything for free over there, and then you upload your family tree. Us, we're talking about 8,000 people in my family tree at least. They will all go up. The family tree is going to be there, and you're going to get matches with records and with other family trees. And you still don't need to pay. Okay? Until you see if the match is really what you're looking for, if this is convenient for you, then you pay. But give it a try for free.
Now, so will they have access to the auto cluster tools, the chromosome browser?
Chromosome browser, one-to-many, auto cluster, the ethnicity report, the DNA matches, the triangulated matches. Because it's not only that I match somebody, but if that somebody matches my mom, for example, which I also match, I can guarantee you this person is coming from my maternal side.
Welcome back to RootsTech.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure to be here.
What's new that is here that you can kind of explain without showing people on a computer, because obviously we're not in a computer setting?
Well, I think one of the things that shows that the industry will continue to grow and continue to innovate is the presence of new tools. Like, for example, Banyan DNA, they just launched their new tool. And just the fact that there's a new tool available for us, and this tool is meant to help us manage more complex family trees. And everybody is always asking, well, that's great for you, but I've got this other situation, you know? And so that we've been in the industry long enough now where not just the most popular questions are being addressed. It's now tools for people that maybe are, again, in this kind of smaller population, but just the fact that the tool exists and that someone built it means that we're moving forward to a place in the industry where there's time and space and effort and energy to create things that are for everyone.
What's the best advice you have for adoptees that are looking for that biological family?
Well, the truth is, when you're adopted, the very best discovery you can make on your DNA match list to like linchpin your biological family member is going to be if your father actually tested.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's going to take something more than just a DNA test, because it will always require verification and validation. It's always going to require methodology, genealogy methodology, and the further back your closest match, the more of that you're going to need.
Yeah.
And so I think while yes, DNA has become a huge help for people seeking biological relatives, it will never be a golden ticket.
Yeah.
It won't, because you will always need other information, either information from people to be tested themselves or genealogy information, oftentimes both. And so, if your closest match is a second cousin, the best you're going to get probably is a pool of possible candidates who could be your biological parent. And that's it. That's all you're going to get. DNA can't tell you any more than that. You'll have to move forward in a different way. And so I think for a lot of people, part of what I try to get out there is in advance, decide what would you be willing to do? Would you be willing to reach out, cold call someone? Would you write them a letter? There will need to be a next step. So what will that be?
I think sometimes people think that they're going to take a DNA test and it's going to ripple out a family tree.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite work that way. We just use it as another tool in the tool belt, along with records and a lot of other things that we have available to us.